Hey, Sean McLaughlin, welcome to this training. What I wanted to do in this training was to give you a bit of an overview and an insight into how to write emails and how to connect with your audience. I did mention it in a previous module, and I wanted to cover it in this module because a lot of people have been asking questions about not just about video shorts, but how do I write emails and how do I connect with my audience? Okay, and there is a technique to it, and it is straightforward, it's simple. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. So let's just let's get these on for a start. Let's get started. Right, so right in front of you, what you'll see is the landing page for the all-in-one business. Okay, and if we're going to develop, if we're going to develop emails, or if we're going to leverage something like My Lead Gen Secret, which is something that you can do as well, then this is what you want to do. Let me just give you a bit of an overview on My Lead Gen Secret. I know this is something that I've been using on a daily basis for almost 5 years, and in addition to doing the video shorts, this is something else that you can add to your marketing mix, your mixed bag, if you like, of marketing assets. Now the thing is about My Lead Gen Secret, as I always say on my case study, it solves one of the biggest problems most people have, which, if you've been following along with this video, with this course, this affiliate marketing course, you're not going to have this problem because you're going to be getting loads and loads of traffic from your video shorts. But not everybody looks at video shorts, and there's going to be some people who resonate better with email. And what I always say is that if you can learn your trade of being able to communicate your message to your audience using email, that is an invaluable skill to have and to develop, because not only can you develop the connection using emails, but you can develop really good and effective sales funnels, which essentially is what we're doing in HBA as well. So it all goes hand in hand. It's really beneficial to learn this skill. So My Lead Gen Secret, as I said, what it does, it develops 100 to 200 business leads every single day. Now these leads are slightly different to leads that you would normally generate using a lead magnet, because people, they know who you are, and then all you need to do is develop enough trust and they get to like you. So it's a know, like and trust. With My Lead Gen Secret, they're co-registration leads, and essentially what it means is if you sign up for something and there's a little checkbox that says, yes, keep me informed with your trusted third parties, and then you start getting loads of emails from third parties, then that's what they are. It's people that you don't actually know, and My Lead Gen Secret is one of those third parties. Now what you need to do as a marketer is you need to talk to those people, those audience, your co-registration audience, and get them to know, like and trust you. And it's a case of just being yourself but giving them as much value as possible. So how do we do that with HBA? Well, it's really, really simple to do, and I'm going to show you what I do on a daily basis. So if you look at this is the landing page, the all-in-one business. This is Paul, okay, and Paul, this video is extremely clever the way they've done it, and what I would recommend you do is, this is like 33 minutes. Go through with a pen and paper and decipher everything that this video says and does in the different sections, okay, because it's really clever, as I say. Now what you want to do when it comes to writing emails, if you're writing emails to prospects, now prospects are people who are getting to know you, people that haven't yet done business with you, then there's a different way of writing and a different way of putting your formatting together. So what I do with this, okay, this is my notepad. I have my subject line, okay, subject, let me just change that. So then you don't have to be able to spell or type, okay, right. What I do with this, I go 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0, okay, and I'll copy this, and then what I'll do, I'll paste it in 5 times. 5 times in Notepad. And when you write an email normally to someone that you know, or a letter to someone that you know, you will write all the way, you'll write all the way along the whole page, okay? And obviously you'll have some gaps, but you'll write all the way along. Now when you're writing to prospects or people that don't actually know you, then what you would do, you would cut it off, okay? And you would have the sentence only to within the parameters of these numbers. And that's because it makes the email easier to read, okay? And what you want to be doing, if you get in the head of your audience of people that don't actually know who you are yet, then they look at an email, okay? First of all, the subject line has got to be compelling enough. So you're going to want a hook, something to hook people in, and also you're going to want to open a loop, like asking a question, okay? So we'll sort that out in a minute. That gets people to open the email. Now the important thing that you need to do in the body of the email, in the actual in the contents, is to answer the question. If you open the loop in the subject line, you close the loop by answering the question. But also, if you get in the mind of your audience is saying, who's this guy, what is this all about, and what's in it for me? That's all they're really interested in. What's in it for me? And if you can answer that question as quickly as possible while still, telling people who you are and being personable and human, then people will be fine with it. The reason people get complaints is because sometimes the subject line is not the same as the body, or they feel they've been misled, or to be honest, they feel like you're just messing them about, okay, or you're trying to pull the wool over their eyes. Okay, so never be too clever, never be smarmy, never be spammy, okay, just be yourself and be as genuine and as authentic as possible, okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to keep those numbers in as a template. Now, if you're promoting a product and that product has a landing page and that product has a video sales letter, a VSL, then you've already got days and weeks, maybe even longer, of different emails that you can send out to people, okay. Now if you look at this is Paul, okay. The first bit of this video is the introduction as to what HBA is and what it can do for people and what it does. But there's 33 minutes. How many words could you actually come out with in 33 minutes? Okay, many. Okay, and also we've also got this page, okay. So we've got this page where we've got done for you copy and it's brilliant stuff. It's a really, really good page, and currently 5.1 million has been paid out to affiliates, and the majority of that has been thanks to this page. So if you look at all this, and this is what I showed you previously in, I think, module 1, was the how much you can earn from 1, 2 or 3 sales a week. There's all kinds of information here, okay, and you can turn this into many different emails. And the important thing about using the landing page for your emails is that you've got congruency, and congruency is number one. First of all, you're going to want congruency with your subject line, okay, to get people to open it. Then, so what I mean by congruency is everything wants to be the same, related, okay. If you look at a family of kids and you get, oh, look at you're all related, and there's a kind of nice connection there, okay. When everything's different, in emails, when the subject line is different to the body, it's going to annoy people, okay, and they're never going to click. They're going to click complain, okay, and you don't want that. So congruency, subject line complements the body, that complements the link, and the link complements the landing page. Everything is the same, so the words are the same, the flow is the same, everything's the same, the colors are the same. If you're going to do colors, if you're going to do like a funnel in relation to this, everything wants to be congruent and the same, okay. So there we go. So in terms of a subject line, what are we going to say, okay, and what do we want to do? Well, if we're using something like mileage and secret, we're not really going to know who our audience is. If we know who our audience is, and if we know what kind of lead magnet we've given away to get their subscriber details, then we need, again, to make that congruent. But if we're using mileage and secret, essentially it's just a case of being consistent by sending emails every single day and then finding out from your stats what they resonate with. Okay, so if you make a sale, then based on the tracking link, you can see what email produced a sale, and you can find out what people are resonating to. Okay, and then you build from that. And the thing is, with any type of marketing, and this is sometimes a bit of a frustrating one, when people say, how do I make sales online? And some people will go, test and measure everything. Okay, test and measure. What do you mean test and measure? Okay, well, just give me the answers. Just give me the actual formula for doing this. And when it comes to marketing, sometimes you can copy someone's campaign, literally word for word, image for image. And this is something that happened a few years ago. We had a guy who was doing about 20 grand a day with a certain product, and he had his Facebook ads and his email copy and his landing pages, and people came on board and they were able to leverage everything that he did. Okay, and one was a friend of mine, and he copied everything absolutely verbatim, the images, the email copy, the landing pages, and the guy that was doing 20 grand a day thought, great, you're going to get the same results as me. What happened is that my friend actually lost money. Okay, didn't understand why, and the reason it didn't convert is because his branding was off. Okay, so you got to brand you, and you've got to really start to understand the way you think and what resonates with you, because what works for you may not work for somebody else. It's a bit like diets. Okay, someone says, yeah, cabbage soup diet. Jump on the cabbage soup diet. Jump on the I don't know, XYZ plan. Something came in my mind then, but I'm going to say it. Jump on the XYZ plan. I lost 15 stone doing that. Okay, so they jump on the plan and nothing happens. Okay, or you get those guys that, I lost 10 stone. How did you do that? Well, I was drinking all that lemon and lime, lager and lime. I just took my lime out of my drink and lost all that weight. And you think, what? So what works for somebody may not work for somebody else. And this is why I always say, whatever you do in marketing, you've got to give it long enough. You've got to give it, I always say 12 months. Okay, and that's what I say with this whole video short framework. It's not something that happens overnight, because you are learning your trade. It's not about the product that you're promoting. It's not about anything else. It's about you learning your trade. And the more you learn and the more you stick with the process, the more results you'll get. Okay, and it's so important to kind of allow you to understand that. I know it sounds like common sense, and sometimes it can be like patronizing when someone says, well, you just got to learn what you don't know. Here's another stat for you as well before we get into this. For your audience to start recognizing that you're sending emails on a daily basis, or any marketing format for that matter, it takes them around 30, 60, 90, sometimes 180 days, sometimes even longer. Okay, but it takes a while, let's say an average of 3 months, because it is an average of 3 months, for them to start recognizing that you're sending out marketing to them, for them to start to know, like, and trust who you are, and for them to eventually start reaching out. So it's like when you start doing Facebook posts, okay, or let's say you start doing YouTube videos, and you've got a brand new channel, and you put a video out, and you spend some time doing this video, but you put a video out and you click on your stats and you've had nothing, no likes, no comments, no nothing, and you think that's rubbish. Okay, but you're learning your trade. But if you're consistent and consistently you're getting better, eventually you'll get some views, and eventually you'll get some likes, and eventually the same people who looked at your video and liked will comment, and then there'll be such a point where they get the confidence in you for them to reach out and say, do you know what, John, I've been looking at your stuff for 6 months. And you go, oh yeah, I didn't really start liking anything for until last week, but right now, I want to ask you something, because I'm interested in what you're doing. This HBA looks really good. And that's how business is done. But it takes a minimum of 2 or 3 months for people to know, like, and trust you. And here's the thing. Here's the big, what's the word? The saddest thing about the process is most people quit just before 3 months. The average is about 2.8 months. Okay, so set yourself out for 12 months. This is why I say, because most people, I think it was Tony Robbins who said, people vastly overestimate what they can achieve in a month. All right, I've done this. I probably still do this. Yeah, in a month I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do 59 videos. I'm going to do everything else. I'm going to build 10 sales funnels all in a month. Yeah, easy, no problem. Okay, but most people vastly underestimate what they can achieve in a year. Okay, so give yourself a year and give yourself the time to learn, and give your audience enough time for them to know who you are. Okay, and you stack the odds in your favor massively by doing that, and also by being consistent. Okay, and it's one of the things that a lot of people find difficult is the lack of confidence, and how your confidence can get knocked when you put assets out there, you're putting videos out there, and nothing seems to be happening. Okay, and people's confidence literally can get knocked in a few days because they have such high expectations of what can happen. And let me just tell you, it just take a while for this to start kicking in. Okay, but kicking it will. And as someone said to me, you know, you can do all sorts of things online, but quitting doesn't speed it up. It'll never speed things up. All right, so how do we get started with email? Let me show you. So we've got a subject line. So let me just play this video. I don't know if you can listen to this, but let me just play this and see what Paul says.
Hey there, my friend. Welcome to this page, and thank you so much for being open to taking a look at this insanely profitable business model. You're probably here because you got it.
Okay, the first word he came out with there, okay, was insanely profitable business model. So we could use that. Okay, so I'm gonna write that down. Okay, insanely all right. Most people that do demonstrations like this, like go like this when they're typing. Okay, I'm a really slow typer, so apologies in advance, but it's worth sticking around. Okay, so
an email, saw a video, or maybe even had a conversation with one of our affiliate partners. My name is Paul Hutchings, and I'm one of the co-founders of the company behind this.
So you hear what he said there? He said you've maybe looked at the page, or you've had a conversation with one of our affiliates. Okay, so what you can say in that is in your subject, in your body, is hi Bob, hope you're having a good day. The reason for the email today is because, okay, and you're kind of establishing why you're sending the email. But again, he's doing all that, and this is why these pages convert, because these people, they've been around. I mean, Paul's been doing this for over 20 years. He knows what he's doing. I know he looks really young, okay, I know I do as well a little bit, but Paul is a really experienced marketer, and you'll gain so much information and knowledge from listening to someone like Paul from a VSL like this, a video sales letter.
Revolutionary all-in-one digital business.
Right, revolutionary all-in-one business. Okay, good subject line. The revolutionary right. In terms of subject lines, something else I've tested is putting capitals at the front of every word. Okay, and what I've found is that capitalized first words work better. Okay, because they just stand out better. Okay, so I've tested this with multiple different things, and what I wanted to do, I wanted to sort of take away from the spam element. Okay, and I hate spam. I hate any hype. I hate any sort of BS in relation to the industry, because I think it's given the industry a bad name. And I thought, well, okay, if I can reduce that as much as possible, then I'm going to take away the capitalized first letters. It doesn't work. Okay, people don't open as much. Okay, so the revolutionary all-in-one business. Okay, that was what he came out with. Okay, so we can, again, that's a foundation for our subject line, and we can work on that. We can work on making that more compelling. So essentially with our subject lines, what we're looking for is a hook. We want a hook, and we want to open a loop. Okay, so what is the hook? We haven't quite got it yet. I don't think revolutionary is quite there, but the revolutionary all-in-one business. So let's just although if we look at this, the insanely profitable all-in-one business could be a hook, okay? And what you then want to, it's a little bit long, okay, so we can work on that, but then the open loop can be, details inside or something along those lines. So you incentivizing someone to click the link or click the open. All right, let's click on this.
If you decide to tune in, pay attention, and turn off all distractions for the next few minutes, you can see something here that has the potential to help you make money and grow an income much faster than anything you may have ever seen or done before.
Right, okay. That is a perfect opener. And what I'm thinking there is that you could literally take that almost word for word and then say to people, have a look at this video, right? So think about this, right? Just listen to this.
Hey there, my friend. Welcome to this page, and thank you so much for being open to taking a look at this insanely profitable business model. You're probably here because you got an email, saw a video, or maybe even had a
Okay. Hey Bob, the reason for the email today is because I've just got notification of an insanely profitable business model. I know it might sound a little bit cliche, but
conversation with one of our affiliate partners. My name is Paul Hutchings, and I'm one of the co-founders of the company behind this revolutionary all-in-one digital business. If you decide to tune in, pay attention, and
more people than ever are doing well with an online business, particularly with this business model. So tune in, turn off all distractions.
Turn off all distractions for the next few minutes. You can see something here that has the potential to help you make money and grow an income much faster than anything you may have ever seen or done before.
How compelling is that? Okay, click the link below. That's it. Or what I tend to do with that, okay, I'm not going to copy all that out, but that is could be the first email to this particular landing page. Okay, so you put that in, you word it in your own voice, okay, but use those adjectives that Paul uses: insanely profitable business model, tune in, all those sort of things that he uses, so it's congruent. So when people get to the landing page, the language that you've used is now in the language of the video, and subconsciously they're going to have that congruency. So they're going to see, I've heard this before somewhere, this looks good. Okay, so you've pre-framed them in the right way. Okay, and you can bring people to there. What I tend to do, let's say I've written all my email. Now, in terms of the email, let me show you something in My Lead Gen Secret, because these are all pre-done. If I go to stats, right, so if I go to something like this, all right, so here's what I do. So as you can see from here, this is the short and condensed email. So this is short and condensed. This is what you want. So this is the using, oh, it's gone. There we go. So using these numbers as a template, okay, will bring your text to there. And again, it makes it easier to read. So you're getting rid of the barriers. Okay, what makes things difficult, we'll get rid of it. Okay, what makes things easy, do more of that. Okay, and what I always find as well, in terms of the paragraph format, okay, is you want to mix it up. So what you don't want is like a War and Peace where you've got 5 or 6 lines on because it's difficult to read. Okay, so remove it. So there you've got 1 line, there you've got 1.5, there you've got 1 and a bit. Okay, there you've got 2. And what I always say is a 1-3-1-3 type format can work fairly well, but I've had really good results with things like this. So it looks easy to read. And the other thing as well is that after 2 or 3 paragraphs, maybe 4 paragraphs, you have a link. Okay, so you can put what Paul says in there. And if you're going to put the message from Paul, pretty much it's a fairly small amount of text. Okay, because you're incentivizing people to click the link. And what I do when it comes to clicking the link, I use the first link as a kind of feminine link. What I mean by that, it's non-pressured, I don't capitalize the first words. I don't bold it. I just say click here for details. Okay, and even something like click here can sometimes be a little bit more, it's like a command. So it's more male dominated. Okay, so maybe just hyperlink, a sentence, but always have a link early on, and then when it comes to the main link, okay, it's bolded. It's the first letter is capitalized, and it's more kind of masculine in the way it is. Okay, by the time you've got here, now you're going to be clicking the link. Okay, so do something similar and use this format if you haven't already got a format, and see if it works for you. Okay, and then when it comes to writing additional emails, just take more information from the VSL. Okay, the other thing as well, as I always say about the signature, remember, you're trying to get people to know, like, and trust who you are. Okay, and a lot of people, they worry about giving too much information to the internet. They worry about putting their images on. They worry about maybe doing video because of the job they're in or whatever. And you've got to try and find ways around that works for you. And what you want to be doing, you want to be happy that you are in a safe environment, that you're not putting anything in jeopardy, and because everything that you do on video and everything that you do in an email, it comes out. Okay, it comes out subconsciously in what you write. Okay, even though you might go through it and you go, yeah, that's fine, that's great, look, reads really well, reads nice and positive, let's send it. People will pick up on what mood you're in subconsciously when they read it. Okay, and I always give the analogy of operators who did Morse code in World War II. Certain operators, or most operators, would know who'd send it, who sent it. They would know what mood they were in just by reading the Morse code coming in. Okay, because that's how attuned we are as humans on a subconscious level. And your audience are no different. They just don't know it. Okay, and the majority of the time, the marketers, or if you're watching this, you may not know it either. Okay, so if you send an email whilst you're in a bad mood, okay, you've had an argument, okay, maybe you've had some bad news, and you go, oh, I've got to send this email, I'll just get it out of the way, and yeah, done. Okay, and you go, why didn't I have no sales the other day? Okay, what's going on? Okay, that could be a reason why. Okay, when you're still learning the trade. So in terms of the sales letter, let's just continue and just see what else is coming on with, because what we've been in 33 seconds, and we've got the collateral, the material for a really good email.
I've been successfully building businesses from home for nearly 2 decades, so I don't say that lightly.
Okay, email number 2. Did you see the video yesterday? It was from one of my business partners called Paul. Paul's been really successful, and he's been doing this for 2 decades. And he mentioned about this, he said that, and if you haven't yet seen it, I recommend you go and see the video. Here's the link. Let me know what you think. That's it. Okay? Or you can substantiate your email with a video, and maybe you can do a bit of a review video on Paul's video, or parts of it. Okay? Here's what I said yesterday. Have a look at my video and then go and have a look at Paul's. Okay, and what you're doing, you're getting people to make these little micro commitments, and if you can get people to do micro commitments, then they will go on to do bigger commitments. It's called the commitment and consistency theory. Okay, and it's something that's proven in marketing and in life. Okay, if you get people to do little tiny commitments, they'll lead to bigger ones. Okay.
Also believe that what you're about to see.
The other thing as well is that it also builds credibility with you. So, and if you're able to do a video that is a review video that leads to something bigger, number one, people can see your commitment, and they can see your enthusiasm, and they can see who you are, and they go, oh, this guy called John McLaughlin is a genuine guy. He obviously enjoys what he does. I'll have a look at it, or put it on the back burner, but it's sowing those seeds with your audience, and it's getting your audience to know, like, and trust who you are, and it takes them a stage further every single time to maybe reaching out to you and asking you a question, to eventually doing some business with you. But it's so important to do that, and it's just, you don't have to jump through hoops, you don't have to learn anything, you just have to be you. Okay, and what you do have to learn, actually, I don't mean to contradict what I'm saying. You do have to learn how to communicate with people, but just be more yourself and just be more authentic. Okay, so let's just carry on with this.
Here has the potential to help you dramatically improve your quality of life. Of course, you'll have to be the judge of that as you see what we have to show you, but I wanted you to know why I believe it's worth your time to pay very close attention for just a few minutes.
I mean, literally everything he's saying is gold. It really is. You could use every bit of this. You really could. And the important thing I always say, the biggest takeaway, is to take information like this and change it to your voice. Okay, how would you talk if you were doing that video using the same kind of information? What would you say, and what is the style? And transfer that into your email. Transfer that into your video. Okay, always be yourself. And I think one of the biggest challenges a lot of people have is they don't particularly like who they are. They think they've got to be somebody they're not. And I've seen this so many times over the years, and one great example is when Gary Vaynerchuk came on the scene, did extremely well. He's an extremely intelligent marketer. If you know him, if you don't know him, then get to know him. But he has certain mannerisms and certain ways about him, and a lot of people try to emulate that. And clearly, because Gary is such an individual and such a brand in himself, any time you try and take somebody off, your audience says, why are you trying to copy him? Okay, so Gary does this sort of thing and comes out with kind of different sayings, and or even people in YouTube videos, certain sayings, certain introductions, people copy, and you can tell they're being copied. And so what might work for somebody who originated the idea, for someone copying, their credibility goes down the pan. It really does. Okay, so it's better to be yourself, to be genuine, and if you know, don't. Oh, sorry, I just turned my monitor off. Right. Okay. It's better to be yourself, to be genuine, and just to develop yourself along the way. Because as you develop, as you learn the process, as you get better with emails, as you get better with video, your audience will see your progression, and so will you. And this is why I say you don't want to be trying to develop everything in a month or 2 months. It's a 12-month process, and it's so worth it, because you know that what we have is going to take us to that 6-figure income earner, because we can do it, because we've got the right business model that we're leveraging with HBA. But in terms of being able to do that, this is really simple, and it's just a case of, like I said, try and be as genuine as you can. Even if you look at some of the people out there, you look at some of the films out there that people resonate with. There is an audience for everyone. That's what I'm saying. Okay, there are some really good films, some really high action, high movie films that people like. The Tom Cruise fans, everyone likes, a bit of Tom Cruise, and yet there are some geeks out there that people don't resonate with, and yet they've got a massive cult following. Okay, because they are genuine. If you look at some of the people, some of the celebrities out there, some celebrities are very samey, and some celebrities are very individual, because they just stick to what they are and what they know. Okay, I would give some names out, but you might not know everybody I'm referring to. But what I'm saying is, if you put yourself out there and you are your genuine self without trying to be anybody else, you will build an audience much faster and much quicker than trying to pretend to be Gary Vaynerchuk, okay, or trying to pretend to be Nick Nimmin, or trying to pretend to just coming out with little things like this. Okay, here we go, like that. Okay, is that your brand? Is that your personality? Okay, would you normally do that in conversation? Because if you wouldn't, then that, by its very action and by the non-verbal communication that you're giving out, is weird. Okay, so and your audience will go, well, he's doing that because clearly he's trying to be somebody he's not. So don't do it if you don't do it. All right. If you're nervous on your videos, then be nervous, because there's something very innate and something very special about being vulnerable on camera. Okay, and I'm talking about more sort of camera work, but it's all about developing your brand. And if you can say to people, okay, here we go, my first ever video short, welcome, my name's John, I'm dead nervous, but anyway, because of that, I'd really appreciate if you give me some love, give me a bit of a thumbs up, and hopefully the next video will be a bit better than this. We'll see you next time. Something like that, where you are genuinely nervous. It's no point, I sort of did it my first ever video short, and I just sort of said, yeah, okay, it's my first video short, I don't know what I'm doing, but anyway, give us a big thumbs up, because it's my very first video short. See you later. Okay, but because I'd done videos for years, people knew I wasn't particularly vulnerable, so it was like, yeah, okay, well done, John, yeah, good on you. Okay, but when you are genuinely nervous, then people go, well done you. I did a video years ago on a marketing event in Texas, and I said to this lady, she was about 70-ish years old, and I said, how are you getting on with your videos? And she said, I've never done a video in my life. I daren't do a video. I said, really? So we had a bit of a chat, and I said, well, I'll tell you what, if I get my phone out, and can I just have a chat with you? She says, yeah. She don't mind if I record it. She went, no, that's fine. So I'm doing this video with her, and I said, do you realise what you've done? She went, what? So you've done your first video? She's like, oh my God. So we did her first video, and she kind of went on from there and did a few more videos. But that is what people like. They're like genuine people. What puts people off sometimes with video is being too confident, because they go, I could never be like that guy, because he's too confident. I want someone that's just a little bit stumbling, a bit rubbish. Okay, but that's that. Anyway, so we're talking about video. Get all your inspiration from things like this. Okay, people like Paul know exactly what they're doing. So take all the inspiration from there. Everything you need. Look how much copy is in here. Loads and loads. There's another video up here somewhere. Yeah, another video there. Okay, another video. This is, I think this is Paul and Mike together. Yeah.
Thank you so much for being open to taking a look at our amazing funnel builder and calendar pages, traditional website.
So this is Mike. Okay, this is Mike who I told you about back in the earlier modules, where he did a video every single day for 12 months and ended up with 0 sales, and yet 12 months after he developed a 6-figure business. Okay, so that's Mike, and that's Paul. Just amazing people, they really are. But look at all the copy that you can use. Look at all this. Okay, something like this, really simple. Hey Bob, have you heard of the all-in-one $25 business from HBA? It's what do we say? It's an insanely profitable business model and a revolutionary all-in-one business. Do you know why? Because you get lead capture pages, landing pages, sales pages, membership pages, all this. Okay, and the list goes on. Have a look at the link below and let me know what you think. As an email, okay, as a prospect in email. And you put value out all the time, and you find out what resonates with people. It just goes on. The inspiration to do emails using this strategy, and like I tell you, the mileage end secret, or any, I talk about this because I promote this. Because I've got a case that's going on, and literally because I've made a lot of sales in HBA using Mileage and Secret, so I know it works. Yeah, do a video every single day. Do an email every single day to your audience. Build up your audience and build up your brand. But if you're looking for inspiration, this is the way to do it. Go look at the VSLs. Go and look at this. And this isn't the only VSL. If you go into the other, look at all these. There's loads more. Okay. There's loads more. Loads of things you can look at. Okay. There's no limit. There really is no limit to the content and the stuff that you can put out. So if you ever get stuck, if you're ever wondering what to say to your audience, go on, have a look at a landing page, and also you can reach out to me as well. So if you're not yet subscribed, hit the subscribe button, give us a big like. And if you've got any questions, pop them in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next module. Bye for now.